Howdy folks, how's it going? It has been a hot minute. We're gonna do a Wood Elves campaign today, and tomorrow, and perhaps the next day as well. When Warhammer Total War first came out, I really wanted to like the Wood Elves. They are my dream. They are bae. Really love them, but their campaign was just boring. It was just boring. Okay, it played out very similarly to the vampire counts in ways. The vampire counts sort of play this like turtley kind of. You can play them differently. Don't get me wrong, but they play as this like turtley kind of faction that like builds up and then just busts out with unlimited power and just murders everything. The Wood Elves play like that too, except they really didn't seem to bust out with unlimited power. They just kind of, I don't know, smoldered and died. So with this latest DLC that came out, the Twisted and the Twilight, they added some new lords, Drika and the Sisters of Twilight. The Sisters are who we're going to play. And they changed a lot of the mechanics around the Wood Elves and made them, their campaign seems a lot more interesting. I played about 20 turns of the Sisters of Twilight before recording this, and I had to stop because I was like, hey, it's pretty good now. So that's what we're going to be doing. For those of you who aren't like super into strategy games, Warhammer, whatever, I would still advise sticking around. I'm going to try to show you the cool units and animations and battles and stuff and try to explain what's actually going on as best I can. For those of you who are veterans, I may slow down a little bit in the first few episodes and explain things, you know, try to keep it moving though. So, we are going to be the Sisters of Twilight. We are these twin badasses, one of whom is very like calm and, you know, nice, and you know, she's like your stereotypical elf. She might as well be a high elf. The other one is a warlike badass, as one does. They have some abilities. Lord Daith will grant us random magic items occasionally. Our units have a bunch of extra ammo. Hawk Riders get a badass magical ability. Missile units are, so all of our archers, and we are Wood Elves, so we're going to have tons of archers, have an upkeep of minus 15%, which is ridiculous. Melee attack plus 10 for flying units is pretty good. Charge bonus for flying units, you know, I don't know. So, at our core, instead of building up resources of amber to upgrade a tree and win the game that way, we're going to be basically teleporting around the universe, killing people near forests to heal said forest, which is very much so a Wood Elf kind of thing. So let's go ahead and start the campaign, and that's going to be a minute to load. You can read the words. Woo. But as far as mods go, I don't really have many running. I have like graphical mods going, so I have like a clearer borders. I have a day-night cycle on the campaign map, less fog on the campaign map, but in terms of gameplay changes, the only thing I've got is I gave myself the ability to respec my lords, and that's because when I conquer like an enemy faction that is like of the same blood as us, you sometimes get access to their lords, and like the skills the AI picks are just completely useless, so I would like to be able to, you know, pick better skills for my lords. So, the life-giving Oak of Ages has seeded many forests, but now its outstretched world roots wither under the strain of destructive forces. We will stride forth to heal the world's force and bring balance to the web of life and death that binds all living things together, for the fate of the weave is not just tied to the something, but to the fate of the world.
Twilight, most esteemed emissaries of Queen Ariel. You are deep in the hostile lands of the Druki, but the forest of the Witchwood provides you with sanctuary in this bleak realm.
Yeah?
The weave here is dangerously out of balance, as is the case in many other forests of the world. Bring life back to these withering woodlands, then traverse the deep roots to seek out others who require healing in more distant lands. Every healed forest brings strength to Athel Loren and the world roots that reach out from the Oak of Ages. Thus, You must ensure the mighty oak not only endures, but flourishes, so that it may continue to send its life force to the forests of the world.
Right.
Oversee this new season of rebirth, twin champions of the Azrae. The lesser races pollute, defile, and wantonly take from the forests, causing an imbalance to the weave that must be righted. Punish them in Ariel's name, and return the forests to full splendor.
All right. Your boy had a speech. So, the game's nice enough to give you little tutorials. Every now and then we're going to get some free items from Mr. Daith. Just what he just explained, but with icons. Eventually we'll be able to use certain stances to, say, travel all the way from across the universe over here to, say, all the way to the Gain Vale over here, or all the way to the Oak of Ages over here. Which, it may still be our ultimate goal to get this oak upgraded all the way to beat the campaign. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look at the objectives, because I don't actually know anymore. I used to know, but the game has changed. I'm not that far into the campaign. As I said, I only got 20 turns in. So, we start off with not a whole lot of territory. We start off with this Witchwood here. We could spend basically all of our cash to upgrade it. We could also spend some cash to get this Grapevine, which would get us 600 gold per turn. Probably going to be good. I would like to essentially get an extra 30% gold per turn. That'd be nice. We don't start off with a whole lot of treasury. And we start off in sort of hostile territory. We've got the Val's Anvil, Hag Hall, and the Temple of Adaoth here, which are all owned by this hostile Dark Elf faction. The faction of Exarian? The faction of Bleakholds? I assume it's the faction of Bleakholds. Yep. So, Dark Elves own that. They don't like us. We're at war with them. And we also have someone that's probably going to be hostile here, the Plane of Spiders.
Seek only to bring greatness to Heimri. Do not
Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings and Elves I don't think are going to get along very well, so that's something to think about. We have this ruin over here that's not occupied by anyone. And our forest over here, the Forest of the Witchwood, ain't doing so hot. It is losing -2 forest health per turn. Our goal is to get that, to 100 forest health. If we do so, we'll get research rate. We'll get global recruitment capacity, so we can recruit more troops per turn. And we'll get extra health distributed to Athaloran, which is the forest over here. And apparently we want to get this one, this forest to be happy to beat the game. So, we don't start off with a whole lot, but we'll go through it. So, as usual when I start these strategy games, if I'm trying to explain stuff, I'm going to kind of go from the right to left to look through all my menus and see what the hell is going on. So first thing here is the Deep Roots. This is how we can, travel from forest to forest, but we don't have access to that yet. We have to wait till turn 10, I think. Okay. Sword of Cain isn't really relevant to us. You can get this badass sword, and it has powers, and it makes your ruler going crazy, and it makes all of your people hate you. So, not going to do that. We have court offices. Our Court of the Mage Queen. Okay. Our Sisters of Twilight are the Heralds of Isha, and they're locked into that office. They can't go anywhere else, and they get an extra Lord Recruit rank for Spellweavers. Okay. And then we have all these other offices that have all these bonuses, but we don't have lords to use them. Excuse me. Trying not to hiccup. Alright, we have tech here. Here's our big-ass tech tree. There's nowhere really to go but, the first one. So I'm not really going to worry about anything just yet. I'm just going to get the first tech, which is extra line of sight on the map and public order. Woo. Not a big deal. Diplomacy. Are our wood elf brethren cool with non-aggression pacts yet?
Wood protects its sons and daughters.
Nope.
We will see our homeland persist. Ludicrous.
Nope.
Speak your lies and be gone from Athelloren.
Jesus.
A wise
Okay.
choice.
Orion's cool with us. That's good. He's an important one, so cool. We can at least make a treaty with him. And objectives. Well, here you go. Here's the victory conditions. We have to win a special battle. We have to have 500 forest health in Athelloren, and we have to do a ritual of rebirth in Athelloren. And then there's an even longer campaign victory where we'd have to do more rituals. Don't know how any of that works. Haven't got that far in this new revamped campaign yet.
Harmony prevails.
Let's see. Nothing important here I want to mess with. We already talked about gold a little bit and built something to get us a little more gold, so that's fine. Nothing to do with the Forge of Daith yet. He doesn't have any items for us yet. 2 turns from now he'll get that. So we'll worry about other mechanics as we get to those. In the meantime, we have a small force here. We'll get to the military stuff now. We have the Sisters of Twilight, of course. They have some really badass arrows that are either magic or armor sundering. They have a really badass ability that if they're about to heal, if they're about to die, they take about 30 seconds, so if you can pull them out of combat right as they're about to die, they'll heal themselves for about a third of their current health. Pretty useful, keep them alive like that. You could even do something like, if you have a life mage, you can make them basically invincible for about 30 seconds, and then while they're preparing to heal there, they'll, heal up right after the spell ends. They have, looks like some sort of constant augment. No enemy presence in ability range. What? Ability range? Like enemy ability range? I'm not really sure what that means. Okay. It looks like if we're like far away from people, I'm assuming what it means if we're far away from people, we reload faster and do more damage. All right, we can fire while moving. We provide extra morale to our troops nearby us. We scare people being near them. We won't take attrition from our own forests. That's good. We have, this is one of our arrow types. We basically fuck up someone's armor really, really bad so that our friends can go murder them for us. Or we can poison people, which I usually stick to this one. And we have a little bit of resistance. We have our Eternal Guards, which are basically just, all high elf units are pretty high quality. These guys are basically just, relatively high quality buffer units that you use to defend your archers.
Stronger together.
Our sisters banter each other, and they'll continue doing that. We have Glade Guards. The big thing with Glade Guards, these are our main backbone archers, and they will be for a long, long time. The big thing with these guys is that they can fire while moving. So while they're advancing, they can continue shooting, which is huge. It makes your forces very, very flexible. These Glade Guards have armor-piercing missiles. That's why they have this Starfire shaft ability here. Stag Knights. Vanguard deployment. They can deploy outside of the normal attack zone and even closer when we start our deployment phase of a battle. And they get extra crazy damage, and they will never rout as long as their morale is not low. We have Hawk Riders and a Great Eagle, which I'll get more into detail soon. But it's a very small force with only 8 units out of 20, but it is more powerful than it looks. And I'm going to make a weird move here. The game is very clearly setting me up, to take this Temple of Adioth. Well, when I started this campaign, I was not aware that this wasn't mine. So I actually skipped this area, and I went over to the Plain of Spiders, and I killed them. And I actually don't think that's a bad move, so I'm going to actually do that again. I'm going to kill these guys first.
Duty, adventure.
The reason is because these guys have a small force here, and I know these guys are going to be a threat. And next turn, they're going to move into this town and try to defend it, and they're going to start recruiting more troops. And here's the thing about undead. They're not scary with low numbers. They are very scary once they start bringing big stacks of cheap crap at you, and that is exactly what undead do, and I hate them, and I want them to die before they're a problem. There's also this Beastmen tribe kind of laying an ambush over here, so I don't want to immediately take this. I feel like that's going to set off a fight, a standoff. So I'm kind of doing not what the game expects me to do, and I'm okay with that. It's an interesting little position. Oh yeah, and we have a little spell singer of beasts. I really don't like beast mages, but oh well. Well, we have one. That's what the game gave me, so that's what we're getting. Nothing else to do with the turn, so we're gonna end it. How far along are we? 15 minutes. Turn 1. Yeah, whatever. Took my time to explain things. I hope you veterans of Total War don't mind too much as I sort of, you know, rattle off the basic details. There's just a lot that's on screen. It's kind of overwhelming, and if you're not familiar, you don't know what's going on. Even now, if anyone's not familiar with these kind of games, they probably still don't know what's going on. So we're just gonna immediately attack these guys with no, with no provocation whatsoever. Sated king. Those with grand ambitions who lust for power are always the first to fall. It's possible this guy actually isn't a threat with that character trait. Oh well. This may be the wrong decision. This is not, a guide on how to play the game. This is me playing the game in the manner of my choosing. So, grain of salt. I'm okay at Total War. I've put many, many hours into them, so I have a fair idea of how to do things, but this campaign is only on hard difficulty as well. I don't really like the free bonuses that the AI gets on harder difficulties. They're just not fun to me. I don't really care about extra magic, so we'll just stick with 12. This is our power reserve of Winds of Magic. Various characters have spells, like our spell singer, and she has very little to work with because she's a level 1 mage, so I don't really care how much we have. But this recharges 1 power per 6 seconds, and that recharge rate will get worse the more we cast magic with her in this battle. So we're fighting outside their little city here. We've got little choke points here. They're probably going to deploy all on one side or all on one side to kind of try and overwhelm us. What we're going to do is we're going to take my Stag Knights, and I guess let me actually take a minute and show you the units, because I promised to do that. Here are the Stag Knights. These guys are new with the DLC. They are, you may notice that the stags themselves are ridiculously large. Those elves are not small. The stags are huge. Here are our Glade Guards, the backbone of our army. And here are our Eternal Guards. Pretty uniform, pretty cool looking, I think. The Witchwood Elves have these black designs instead of the green that you see with Orion, and I like it. It looks pretty good. Here's our Great Eagle. Great Eagles are basically duelists. As strange as that may seem, they're not really like huge monsters that just tear apart infantry. They'll actually get their ass kicked by infantry usually. You want to use them to like snipe lords, or maybe snipe a unit of archers out of the way. Our Hawk Riders are usually just kind of there to harass people and get around people, but with the ability they'll get from the Sisters of Twilight, they will be actually very powerful in this fight and very important, so I'm going to toss them over here somewhere. Here are our sisters. For now, they're on a Great Eagle, and they'll be on a dragon eventually. Get a special dragon. He's got special colors and a little helmet, and there's our sisters on it. If I can get a good look at them. Looking pretty fly. Pretty cool.
Sisters of Twilight!
Sisters of Twilight, indeed. Okay. Did I forget anyone? The spell singer, I guess. Here she be. Oh, she does look a lot cooler with the black, though. I got to give her that. I'm used to them being just all green.
The forest speaks.
I do like the little glyphs on her hands there. Those look pretty cool. Okay. So we're going to toss our spearmen over here, and let me organize everyone first. This just makes it a little easier on my sanity, because I can quickly just go boop, 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 and select everyone. We're going to put our spears over here. We're going to put them in guard mode so that they do not chase anyone and so that they hold their formation if they come under attack. We're going to put our Glade Guards right behind them. Actually, we're going to put our Glade Guards in... No, we'll keep them behind them right here. We're going to turn off skirmish mode so that they don't run away from enemy infantry automatically. And we're going to put our Great Eagle on the right side. And... Spellsinger, I don't know where I want her, so I'm just going to put her in the middle somewhere. And I'm kind of going to do the same thing with the Sisters of Twilight. And let's see what they do. So, as expected, they picked this side. Let's go ahead and just move everyone up. And our Hawks here get the special ability due to being in the Sisters' army. They get the Volley of Kurnus. And they're just going to murder these skeleton archers. I really want these archers to be down, although I'd really like to kill this Hierotitan. But it has a lot of armor, and this ability specifically does not have good... Wait, what? Poor penetration, armor-piercing damage. Well, maybe I should use it on the Hierotitan. This thing is really dangerous. This is probably the most dangerous unit the enemy army has. Does not rout. It's immune to terror. Armor piercing. It causes terror. It has its own spells. It can cast Burning Gaze and Spirit Leech by itself. You know what? Yeah. I will pile all damage onto the Hierotitan. I don't know if that's the right choice, but I'm doing it. Okay. We're going to start moving our Stag Knights up to threaten them along with our Eagle, and we'll move your girls up here as well and see if I can maybe sneak some cheeky pot shots off on the Hierotitan. Yeah, I don't know if that damage was worth it at all. 8988 out of what? I don't know. Not enough. Ow. What hit me there? Some spell. Probably from their wizard here. So they're gonna pull their horsemen and their carrion over here, basically undead vultures to counter me, which is not gonna be enough, which is good. I don't want to engage too fast because I don't want them to pull their men back. I want them to, really feel like they can approach over here without any harm. Let's go ahead and assign some orders over here. And let's actually move the Sisters because they are getting shot. Really need to... I'm going to ignore those archers against my better judgment. I'm going to ignore them, and I'm going to just focus the Hierotitan. I need him to die, like, as soon as humanly possible. Every other unit in this army is trash. Like, totally not worth my time at all. You can see, like, the Eagle isn't even doing well against just these carrion, and the Eagle's such a better unit than them, but there we go. Look at the armor. We're reducing the armor on him, so my archers are going to do a lot more damage. Can't see the arrows very well in this terrain. This ain't great. Might back up a little. Back up a smidge. Okay. He's almost dead. That's not bad. He's turning his attention to the Sisters. He might be about to do Spirit Leech on them. Yep. Here it comes. Here comes something. Oh, nope. Ooh, some of that hit. That's Shim's Burning Gaze. That's what that is. Okay, you guys expand and go ahead and charge in. We've got the Hierotitan though. Well, they're gonna finish it off in a sec. I don't like how this is going. Don't like how that's going. Let's have the Sisters go help out the Eagle here, because that Eagle's getting its ass kicked by that garbage. I told you they're not very good. The Eagles at fighting garbage. They're duelists. They're good one-on-one. That's about it. Let's go ahead and switch over to our poison shots here. Let's get our Spellsinger in there. We'll just have her go fight someone. Give these guys some extra armor and weapon damage, I guess. And meanwhile, what can I target that'll be helpful here? Their general. Yep. All of my archers target their general now. Let's get that mage down. Any undead army, the necromancer, the wizard is the backbone. You kill him, the whole army goes. Case in point, you really want to kill the wizard when you can. Don't do that. Narrowly avoided that. Okay. Oh, we have our eagle ability here. All right. There you go. Use that. Whee! Killed a few elves. That's okay. I'll zoom in on the combat for a moment so you can see my elves just covered in gore. There's the Higher Titan's body. Okay. Can't focus for too long, though. We got shit going on here. Eagle ain't doing great, but that's okay. Go do your job. Actually, I'm kind of scared of him dying, to be honest with you. Go help with the horses, then, I guess. We've got multiple archers focusing that him down. It should be okay. My stags are cleaning up the archers, which is great. Fuck you, skeletons. This chick's doing okay. That's fine. I guess buff the eagle, since I'm so worried about the eagle. He's just a little low. I'd like to be able to use him in another fight, so I'm gonna actually pull him out, I guess. Archers are taking down your boy here. Yep. Goodbye. Oh, a miss. And now we're gonna see his forces are gonna crumble in short order. You can see these white flags. Whenever the white flags are flashing, that means the unit's very close to routing. We did lose our Eternal Guards here. They're running. If not too many of them die, they should come back on the campaign map, so we can still use them. Let's go ahead and pull our eagle out then, because we need them. And I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's better to. Oh, I don't love that. They got very close to beating us there. Oh, they still had their these guys. I don't even remember what those are called. They still had those. I didn't. The first time I did this fight, I targeted those a bit better. Yeah, we lost about a third, but we did. This is the whole faction, the Exiles of Nehek. So this faction's dead and will never ever be a threat to us, which I'm okay with. I'm not sure if I'm gonna occupy this settlement or if I'm gonna just raze it to the ground. In my first campaign, I razed it to the ground. Yeah, I haven't really determined the pros and cons of that yet. Soldiers' tires, they run and fight. Yeah. 55 kills on the Sisters, 111 on the Stag Knights, putting in work. The Hawk Riders, 78. That's probably the most I've ever seen. The Hawk Riders, I don't really respect Hawk Riders. I know some people get a lot of use out of them. They're good tactically, you know. They're a flying archer unit. You know, there's something to be said about that, but I never get any use out of them. But with the Sisters and that extra power on them, not bad. So I could take this, or I could. I'm just gonna destroy it. I'm just gonna destroy it. Seems like the elf thing to do. It's an undead area. I'm not gonna take it. So by doing so, we got some cash, which is good.
Harmony has prevailed.
Yep, harmony has prevailed, and as a result of doing so, you can see this green icon. Our forest is now a little less sad. It's now -1 per turn instead of -2 per turn. So that's a start. So this is the core concept of the campaign. We're not going to go conquering the universe. We're not going to go murder every single person in the world and paint the map our color. We're going to clear out the areas around our forests and clear out the forests themselves. And yeah, that's the idea of the campaign. It's much more wood elfy than it was before, that's for sure. All right. We want, if you're not familiar with the game, of course, each character has their own skill trees. Some are more badass than others. I hear tell that the Sisters can be really, really good, which is probably true because they can get a dragon, which is a starter. They can... reload time reduction, 12% for the entire army. Speed +6 for the entire army. I like it. I like it. They have a bunch of pretty decent combat abilities. Combat upgrades I can give them. Ammunition plus 20%, reload plus 10%. They fire pretty slow, in my opinion, so that's pretty good. Speed and such is always handy. Prey of Anathema is going to be really good. That means we can like cast down a magic net and 3 times per fight, 90-second recharge, and it holds them in place for 16 seconds. Really useful to have a Prey of Anathema in a Wood Elf army. This is pretty much the standard stuff that pretty much every Wood Elf Lord has, but we will go down this path pretty shortly to get missile strength for the whole army. All of our archers, since archers are the backbone of the elves, as well as eventually this, Nature's Quiver, which for like high rank archers, big upgrades, like ammunition, 10% plus range is huge. Other than that, I think most of this stuff is default. This tree is different. This tree is unique. Ward save plus 10%. So ward save is, any damage, period, is reduced by this amount. That's pretty good. Public order plus 2 for the province they're in. Relations with all of the elves. That's pretty good. Campaign movement range plus 10, line of sight plus 15, casualty replenishment plus 10, passive ability guardian, around self affects allies, target if unit is a lord or a hero, effect range of 30, 15% physical resistance. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. So they can be really, really hard to damage here. Okay. Masters of the Ares, physical resistance for flying units, upkeep minus 10 for flying units. Vanguard deployment for eagles and dragons. Oh, so I can just have a whole army of dragons that can just deploy right in the enemy's face. That's good. Wow. 5% ward save for the whole army. Interesting. Okay. All right. Sure. That's pretty powerful. Some of these abilities up here are really, really good. Some of these are really, really good. Okay. First thing you want always pretty much, though, is campaign movement range plus 10%. I need to be able to move further on the strategic map. Now for you, my spell singer, I need you to start going down your magic tree because I need you to get a Flock of Doom. It's just a little bit, tiny bit of chip damage on your enemies, but it's over a nice, like, wide area, so it hurts a lot of people. It can be pretty valuable if you hit, like, 10 units with this. But more importantly, I need a Transformation of Kadon, which is probably her most valuable ability. It summons a Great Eagle. Just straight up, just here, have an eagle. So, that's a pretty useful one. And we got some followers, some magics. Let me take a look at that. You gained a follower. Young Stag. Leadership plus 3 for the army. Okay. Did you gain one? Yeah, Forest Spirit. What was that? Magic resistance 5%. Ooh, good. And for killing the faction leader of those Skelly boys, we also get a special stuff for that. We get some power reserve, so extra winds of magic. We're immune to desert attrition and sandstorm attrition, so we could play around in these areas of the map with no harm to us, which is, handy. Next turn, we'll take the temple. Let's see. How long have we gone? 33 minutes. Yeah, that's our first little battle, our first little turn. Hope y'all enjoyed, and see you next time. Peace.